Yo guys, what is good? It is your boy Tundra and we're back on the channel with another banger. Now in today's one we're going to be taking a look at Gibraltar, all the tips I have for you for Gibraltar, and how to bubble fight and how to use them on rotations and locking off lines of sight. I hope you do enjoy. If you want to see more guide videos, let me know what character you'd like to see me do next, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. So in today's video we're going to be going over 3 main steps to how to use a Gibraltar Predator. We're going to be talking about rotations and lines of sight. That's going to be number 1. Number 2 is going to be bubble fighting, and number 3 is going to be how Gibraltar can benefit your team in a normal game and in a competitive game. Let's get straight into it. So the first one we're going to go over is rotations and lines of sight. Now Gibraltar is actually a really good legend for rotations, not as good as like Wraith and Octane, but he's still a really solid legend. So let's say this is a wall. This wall by here is like a whole wall that's like all the way up, and this enemy is right here, and he's blocking you from rotating over to there. You can simply just put Gibraltar's bubble down before you rotate, and then you got 3 rotates. Then this line by here, the bubble, is basically another wall for you. This is a really helpful tip for like if you're in comp or ranked and there's like loads of teams endgame and stuff, and you want to get from one rock to the next rock to be in zone. It's really good to use Gibraltar's bubble to like get to allow you to get across. And also if your teammates are rotating and they get lit up, you can bubble them while they're rotating. Another really powerful tip with Gibraltar, if someone does get caught off guard while they're rotating and they do actually get downed, you can just simply chuck your bubble on them and you can res straight away. Like, so you can't get shot while, if they're like a decent distance away, you can pop this res, and then all your team is back up. They can play back of the bubble. Say like if they're pushing over that way, your teammate can play this side, so the bubble will always be there when they're healing, and then you could take front of the bubble so they gotta get past you to get to your weak teammate. This is a really helpful tip. I would highly recommend using this. Moving on to the next tip. Now this one is bubble fights. By far this is the most important tip when using Gibby. So not a lot of people in the mobile community know about bubble fights unless you're like an actual Apex sweat coming from the PC and the console version. But if a team are pushing you or you get caught out in the open, you can just bubble like so, and then this normally works better with a shotgun or some single tap weapons, but you can peek inside and out the bubble, and then obviously you got the cover from the bubble and they haven't got no cover at all, so forcing them to either just ego charlie if they're out in the open, or to try and slide in and take control of the bubble. But if they do take control of the bubble, you can take that initial shot, get back into the bubble, and then use it to the side to counter them. Another really good tip with bubble fighting is to only sometimes ADS. Now, I know people see all the Gibraltar mains always ADS, but you ADS strafe slower when you're actually aim down sight. So it's actually a good idea to maybe like with the first shot try and get a quick hip fire off. Because if you see how quick I can jiggle peek there, it's quite slower when you ADS. So it's a really good handy tip to always hip fire your first shot or your last shot. It doesn't really matter. I'd probably do it on the last because you get your arm shield. So if they hit your arm shield off, then you can just un-ADS and then go for the shot that way. Gibraltar is an offensive and defensive legend. He can be offensive in the way of bubbling forward onto an enemy and then using the edge of the bubble to jiggle peek and get some initial damage. And he can also be the aggressive character to like, because he's got an arm shield, you can be the first guy in, you can tank all the bullets, because you also, if you know his passive, you also take less damage to bullets overall. So you can be the first guy to go in, you'll take less damage than your enemy, than your teammates will, and you got the 50 extra shield from your arm shield. So that's a really good way of being aggressive with Gibby, just pushing forward, make sure you're the first one in your team taking all the fight. Gibraltar can also be used in a defensive way too. So like if you're running away, say your enemies around these targets behind them and they're gonna peek the corner, you can bubble and then just keep running away. Or if your teammates go down, you can throw a bubble onto your teammates to make sure they don't get thirsted. Or if the enemies are far enough away, you can go for a bubble res. A good thing to do when, like, if you're being defensive is to say like this is your teammate, you can bubble your teammate and then chuck your ult down straight away. So then that forces them to either stay far away from you so they can't push you, and then you also got the cover from your bubble to protect you from your own bombardment, or they got an ape, go straight through the bombardment and then straight into your bubble, so then you can bubble fight them. Moving on to number 3, this is some quick tips for Gibraltar. Now Gibraltar is, they call a pick legend, so you'll just sit there picking up people trying to get initial damage. You'll be the character to try and level up your Evo shield. So normally Gibraltar means they run snipers or like long range weapons. So if I have a charge rifle and me and this guy know each other's there, I peek and he peeks and we both hit each other for the same amount of damage, I'll actually take less damage because of my passive perk, which means I take less damage overall with any gun, and I've also got the arm shield for 50 extra health. So that's why Gibraltar is always the guy to peek first, especially if you're trying to get chip damage like cross map, or you're trying to snipe and just grief people. This is the character you want on your team doing it. Now if Wraith was to use a sniper, yes, she's got a smaller hitbox, but if she does get hit with it, then like if the Sentinel hits a headshot, it's 126. That's a hell of a lot of damage. If it hits Gibraltar, it'll hit his shield, so it'll take 50 damage off that, and whatever damage you take off for the passive perk. So he's a really good peeking jiggle peek character and sniper character if you are into the sniping game, or even if you just like playing ranked and you know that people like to sit far back and use snipers. So this is probably the character that you'd want doing that. Another handy tip with Gibraltar is the fact that if you chuck a bubble down and your teammates score a res, it's kind of a waste of a bubble res. Yeah, you could get a res off and your teammate could be back up, but if you make sure that the actual Gibraltar reses them when you're in the bubble, you actually revive 33% faster than any other character would in the bubble, because that's part of Gibraltar's passive. When people are in his bubble, you can actually res them faster, so that's a hella handy tip to have. So like if your teammates get picked off on rotation or in like a long range fight, you bubble straight away and then you get that res up and it'll be up 33% faster than any other character could pick your teammate up. So that's another really handy tip to keep in mind. So the last tip I'm going to share with you is always use a pump shotgun. The Eva's alright to use, but like with the Gibby bubble fighting, like the normal thing to do is to jiggle peek. So if you're jiggle peeking with like a really quick firing semi-auto shotgun, it's gonna force you to kind of like overextend and stuff. You never really want to do that with Gibraltar. You always want to be in your bubble, just jiggle peeking, like never over, like as soon as like that you see the bubble, you try and shoot as fast as you can, like so, and then you want to get straight back in the bubble. And also another tip is to always bubble, even if there's one guy that you're fighting or two guys. Always bubble, because if you don't bubble, there could be another team coming in like trying to third party your fight, and then like if you're all in the bubble fighting, you actually can't get third because all their bullets will just hit the bubble. So always fight inside the bubble. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, a comment and subscribe. Turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Make sure you drop down below what character you'd like to see me do next. And if you're really thirsty or want energy while gaming, go check out Glytch Energy. Use code TundraCODM at checkout for 15% off. Or if you're a console gamer and your thumbs are getting sweaty while playing, make sure to go check out Swift Grips and use code Tundra for 10% off. Without any more talking, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.